I'm so excited today to be filming my 1 month update after giving birth to baby Richie. If you're wondering why I'm standing, because I'm going to be standing the whole video probably, is because when I was trying to get ready to shoot this video, baby Richie was so fussy that I had to put him in this baby Bjorn sling because in his bassinet he was just too fussy, and as soon as I put him in here he fell asleep. So I will be doing this whole video standing, maybe rocking, but this baby Bjorn sling helps out so much. I don't think I'd be able to get anything done without this sling, just wearing it around the house. So that's one of my tips as a mother. Just if the baby's fussy, put him on a sling and try to do as much as you can around the house. And so I'm just gonna randomly talk about a couple things. So his circumcision, when we were in the hospital, I wanted to get him circumcised, but the doctor that did the circumcision couldn't do it because he didn't have the right tools with him that day. He said the size of, I think I'm interrupting his sleep. He said because of baby Richie's size, he didn't have the right tool. So I had to go to a urologist and get him circumcised. They treat it like a regular surgery. I had to be there at 6 a.m. at the hospital, and he couldn't eat for a certain amount of hours before. They put him in a little tiny baby hospital gown. It was so cute. I mean, I'll try and link a picture. But it went very well. The whole process, you know, once he went in, he was out in less than an hour, and it takes about a week to heal, but now he's good. We have to go back for a follow-up at the urologist after 2 weeks. So I think next week we will be going back for a follow-up. So that was one thing, you know, having a boy I had to deal with when I didn't have to deal with when I had a girl. You know, with baby Richie, so at times, there's times when I just get really frustrated, like when I'm trying to do stuff around the house and he's fussing, or I'm trying to get sleep or something and he's fussing and crying and he won't let me get anything done. You know, I just think back on how blessed I am to have him, and I just take a moment and just regroup, and then I go back to tending to him. You know, it's hard being a single parent because it's just me. You know, don't get me wrong, his father comes and visits. But he doesn't live here. So the midnight feedings, the 3 a.m. feedings, you know, the 7 a.m. feedings, every feeding is me. And the lack of sleep can wear on you and wear on your patients. Like sometimes I'm just like, really? Like I can't even use the bathroom. But again, I take a moment and I think about how blessed I am, and you know, I breathe and I'm good to go. Like, it is really nice having a baby in the house. Like, words cannot explain how much I love it. It really is. I really am happy, and I'm glad that I went through everything I did to have him. It definitely was worth it. If you guys follow my channel, you know what a hard time I had trying to conceive him, and it was a lot, but like I said, it was definitely worth it. And I'm looking at my phone because, you know, I have baby brain and I can't remember anything, so I have all these little bullet points in my phone that I wanted to talk to you guys about regarding the 1 month update. Also, weight loss. I'm losing my weight at a steady state. It's not coming off as fast as I would like it to come off, of course. You know, if it was up to me, as soon as I got home from the hospital, I would have been back to my normal state. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, especially at my age. So I've been really working towards working out a lot and just watching what I eat. And it's been coming off, you know, slowly but steadily. And I'm just going to not stress about it and trust the process. And I'm sure that in no time, before I know it, I'm going to get back to not only where I was, but where I want to be. I want to be where I was before I even had Morgan. That's where I want to be. I want to be pre-babies, pre-fertility treatment body. That's where I want to be. And that takes a lot of time and dedication. It doesn't happen overnight. So I just have to be patient with that. But it is slowly coming off. I'm not gonna complain and say that it's not. Stretch marks. My stretch marks, as you know, baby Richie was 10 pounds. My stomach was huge. I have stretch marks from like here, let's see, from like here down on my stomach. It's bad. But I'm noticing that the more my stomach shrinks, the less noticeable the stretch marks are. They're not deep, thank God. So I think once my stomach gets flat and taut, you really won't be able to see the stretch marks. You know, once I get a tan, and that's what I'm praying. That's what I'm praying for. But you know, as my stomach is shrinking, they're getting less and less noticeable. Thank God. But to be honest, I mean, I'm not going to be wearing my stomach out anyway. I'm a mom now. I have no business, you know, wearing my stomach out, you know. But if I can get my stomach flat, I'll be happy with that. I can wear one-piece bathing suits all the time. I don't even go swimming that much. I don't go to the beach that much. So I'm not stressing too much about it. I'm still putting the oil, the bio oil on my stomach. So that I do every day, and I think that really helps, and I'm going to continue to do that until I feel like I don't need to do it anymore. But I can tell you I'm going to be doing it for the next couple months, at least. The next few months, at least. I have like 2 bottles left also, so I might as well just use those up. But I really do think the bio oil is helping after the fact, because it helps with discoloration, etc. Let's see. I don't have any postpartum depression, thank God. That's a serious issue that a lot of women struggle with. It takes a lot to get me depressed, to be honest. So I'm not surprised. One thing that I noticed, and I went over in my previous videos, that I got a lot of moles when I was pregnant. I actually got a lot of moles under one of my arms. And it's weird because it's just a weird place to get moles. I have like 3, and I am scared to death of shaving because I don't want to like nick one and bleed. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because I really haven't been shaving my arm because, well, not that one anyway, because I'm scared that I'm going to cut myself. I think I'm just going to make an appointment to go to the dermatologist and see what they say about the whole situation. I don't know. It's very odd. When I first brought baby Richie home from the hospital, he had an issue with constipation, and I don't know if anybody else out there had to deal with this, but when we were in the hospital, he was going like crazy. And then when we got home, I fed him the same formula that they fed him in the hospital. when we got home, he just didn't want to go for days and days. So I looked it up online, and they said to put like 1 ounce of water in his formula. So after a couple days I did that, and it made him poop. And then I wound up taking him to the pediatrician shortly after that, and she told me not to do that anymore. I only did that once, but she said don't do it, to give him 1 ounce of water with 1 ounce of prune juice. So I started doing that every other day. I would give him the prune juice and water concoction, and then the next day he would poop fine. The day after that, if he didn't poop by that night, I'd give it to him again, and then the next day he would poop. And we went like that for a couple weeks. But this past week, he's been actually doing very good. I think I've given him the prune juice concoction maybe once. He's been doing it all on his own. And the thing is that the pediatrician told me that sometimes it's normal for babies not to poop. Some babies poop once a week. But he gets extremely fussy when he is backed up. Like, I notice the uncomfort, and it makes me uncomfortable, to just sit there and watch him, and I know he's uncomfortable, so I feel like I have to do something. But the prune juice, 1 ounce of prune juice with 1 ounce of water, that really works, and it worked very well. And the doctor told me if I wanted to give him that every day, I could. It's just juice. It's healthy. It's not, there's no harm in it. So that situation, I'm getting control over. One thing that I'm noticing now that I have 2 kids, that it is hard to leave the house. Like, getting out of the house is difficult. First, it was difficult with just me. I used to take forever to get ready to go. Then when I had Morgan, that was another level of difficulty. Now it's just almost impossible. Like, I'm just literally breaking a sweat by the time I get into the car. And then I usually have to get out of the car and go back into the house because I forgot something. It just takes me like 2 hours right now. I mean, I have to get used to it. It's a lot to get used to, but it's very hard leaving the house with 2 kids. A newborn at that. Okay, the one issue that I have right now with baby Richie, and it's very unfortunate, but he has marks on his face. He's got one like right here, and he's got a big one here. I don't know what it is. When I first had him, the pediatrician at the hospital said that it was just from giving birth because he was so big and it'll go away. When I went to the appointment, at his first appointment with his pediatrician, the pediatrician said it was a port wine stain. And when I looked it up online, port wine stains don't go away. Those you actually have to get lasered off. So I figured I would give it a little bit of time and see if it goes away. Well, it hasn't. The one on his forehead is very, very light. I think not because it's went away, but because his head expanded and it just got lighter. So I think that one is definitely going to just pretty much dissipate the older he gets. But the one above his lip, it's pretty prominent. It's like a red mark. It's not purple. It's not like a purplish wine color. It's just red. Like he bumped his lip or something. Morgan said, oh, he's got a boo-boo. So I scheduled an appointment with 2 other dermatologists, and the one dermatologist, he wasn't sure what it was. There's something called a hemoglobin or something like that, and he said it could be that, which those actually go away. It takes a lot of time, but they do go away. Or it could be the port wine stain, where you have to get a laser to remove it. He said that when it comes to things like that, you have to be careful, because if they're risen off the skin and they're by the eye or the nose, it can give the kid issues, like vascular issues. So what he did was he checked it to make sure, because it is by his nose. So he checked it to make sure that it wasn't anything that can do harm to his system. It's just really aesthetics. So that was the good news. So the doctor told me just to give it some time. I think we agreed to give it about 6 months. So he measured it, he took pictures of it. He said, come back in 6 months and we'll see what it looks like then, and then we'll go from there. And that was the first dermatologist. The second dermatologist that I took it to, she was like, she looked at it right away. She said, this is not something that's gonna go away. She gave me the number to a specialist that can do the laser on it, and that was it. So since the red mark on his face is not any threat to his health, it's only really aesthetics, I'm gonna wait to see if it goes away. A, it might get lighter as his head gets bigger or what have you. And B, his skin tone might get a little bit darker because he's still very young. And I actually gave birth at 38 weeks. So he's still very fair. But he just jumped. I'm scaring him. Poor little thing. So, you know, I just feel bad because he's so cute and he has, you know, the little blotch on his face. But he's healthy mentally and physically, and, you know, he's beautiful to me, and that's what's important. But I don't know if anybody out there has ever had experience with a situation like this. Maybe you can give me some advice. But, oh, baby Richie. Oh. Wait, let me put him down. You want to get out? Okay. I went to go put his bottle on. I didn't realize that it's about time for him to eat. Every time I turn around, I'm feeding him or changing him. So he's going to get a little bit fussy. And he might even start to scream. So I went to put his bottle on so I can have that ready. Thank you guys for watching my 1 month update. And please subscribe to my channel. Also, check me out on Instagram. And you guys just have a wonderful day.